Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today's video will be all about the making of this beautiful lovely gown that I'm putting on here. If this looks like what you would love to learn, it is a bustier gown with a draping sleeve and a pencil gown. If this looks like what you'll be interested in learning how to make for yourself, keep on watching and do not forget to give this video a thumbs up. When you give it a thumbs up, other people get to see the video, and do not forget to subscribe if you're yet to do so. Without further ado, let's dive into the video. For this tutorial, I made use of 2 yards of African print. You'll be needing your bias, your zipper, and a lining. The bias is to turn the neckline, and you also be needing this lace. I have half yard of the lace. So let's get started. Okay, we'll be drafting it out on the lining piece. I have a starting line. As you can see from this starting line, I am going to measure my bust point of 10 inches, my under bust of 13 inches, and then my waist of 16 inches. So I'll be adding 1 inch to the waistline for joining, okay, joining allowance. So I'll just mark out the same figure and then I'll roll it into a straight line. So I also marked out my chest line of 8 inches. So I'll just label this as shoulder, chest, bust, under bust, and then waist. After marking out all your horizontal measurements, go ahead and take the neckline. So for the neck width, I took 3 inches, and then for the neck depth, I also took 3 inches. Go ahead and mark out your desired neckline. And then for the shoulder, I marked 7 inches. I divided my shoulder by 2. I came down by 1 inch, and I'm going to connect it into the neck width just like this. After doing that, on your chest line, I marked the same 7 inches just so that I can get a straight line, and then I'll measure this, what I have here, and I'll mark the midpoint, and then I'll go in by ½ inch from that midpoint for my front armhole. And then on my chest line, I'm going to mark my bust circumference measurement divided by 4, which is 9 inches. And then I'm going to connect the armhole line just like this. And then I'm going to take my nipple to nipple. It is 3½ inches, but I'm going to mark 4 inches because I am cutting directly on my fabric. So that ½ inch will be for stitching allowance. So I just connected it into a straight line, and then on my waistline, I'm going to take 1 inch on this side and then ½ inch on the side towards the center front, that is this side, and then I'm going to connect it into a straight line. And then on my bust line, I'm going to come down by 1 inch. You can come down by ½ inch, and then I'll connect it this way, just the way you see me doing. This is to get rid of any pointness or sharpness around the bust area. So now, depending on how deep you want your neckline to be, that is the yoke part. For me, I came down by 6 inches. I want it to be 6 inches deep. You can go lower than that or higher than that. Connect it into a straight line, and then you extend this your nipple to nipple line, which is 4 inches, just like this, and connect it into a straight line. Okay, so yeah. And then for the darts around this side, to get rid of any bulginess and for it to be firm, you need to take a dart, okay? And I took 1 inch and ½ inch, just what I did for the under bust and waist side, and then I went up by 1 inch from my bust line again, and then I connected it just the way you see me doing. Can you see? So this is what it is looking like. So now, to create your sweetheart neckline, you can leave it straight, but to create out the sweetheart neckline, I just came down by 1 inch. This is because I don't want it to be too deep. I don't want it to be exposed. So you connect it this way, okay? You can go lower than that if you want to, and then you connect this other dart into your armhole, just the way you see me doing. So you have to do this until it becomes perfect, okay? So just go ahead and curve it into the shape that you desire, and this is what mine is looking like. So now I have already marked my bust point, my bust measurement. So I'll go ahead now and add stitching allowance of 1.5 inch, and then this dart I'll measure it and I'll replace it. You have to replace all the darts. So I'll come to the waist and then mark my waist circumference measurement. I'll replace this dart and then I'll add my stitching allowance. Connect that into a straight line. Okay, just like this. And then that is basically it for this front pattern. I'll just add ½ inch on my shoulder measurements, and then we'll go ahead and cut out. So watch how I cut it carefully. I'll first cut out the yoke part just so that you understand. Okay, so this is the yoke, so I just labeled that, and now we'll cut out the bodice itself. Okay, so after doing that, next thing we'll be doing is to cut out the back piece. So for the back piece, I just draw out a zipper allowance, and then I have shoulder, chest, bust, and then waistline for the back piece, and I have my zipper allowance here. We'll be taking all our measurements from this zipper line. Okay, so from this line, that is where you'll be taking all the measurement from. So I'll mark 3 inches for my neck width, just what I did for the front, and then for the back neck depth I'll leave it for now. So I just marked my shoulder, came down by 1 inch, and I'll connect it to the neck width, and then I'm going to mark the same 7 inches, which is my shoulder, just so that I can get a straight line, and then I'll connect it into a straight line. And then I'll just mark my bust measurement on the chest line, and then I'll go ahead and create my back armhole. For the back, we are not going in by ½ inch for the armhole. And then for the waist, I just marked my waist circumference measurement, and then I'm going to mark my dart, which is 3.5 inches, and I'm going to take ½ inch on both sides. So I'll mark that same dart on my chest line. You can actually extend it to your chest line, but I stopped at my bust line. And then I'm going to take ½ inch on both sides, and then I'll connect it into a straight line, just the way you see me doing. This is for the back dart, and then you can extend it to the chest line just like I said. Okay, so I'll place my waist measurement. I've marked it. Replace this dart of 1 inch, and then add your stitching allowance, then go ahead and roll it into a straight line. So I'll add my chest my stitching allowance, and then I'll also roll it into a straight line. And then for the neck depth, I want it to be a V-neck line, and I'll just mark 7 inches for the neck depth. From here I marked 7 inches, and I'm just going to create out a V-neck line just like this. Then to get rid of zipper bolt, just go in by ½ inch, then connect it upward this way. After doing all of this, I'll go ahead add ½ inch to the shoulder, just like we did for the front, and then we'll go ahead and cut the back piece out. So I'll first of all cut out the yoke. Okay, so I'll first of all cut out the yoke. So I want the back yoke to be just 7 inches like this. Okay, so that was what I just marked, just so that I can differentiate the yoke from the bodies. But you can mark your back yoke from the chest line if you want to. I just went up by 1 inch basically. So I just cut it out like this, and this is the yoke for the back, and then this is the side for the back. So I've cut out this front piece, and this is what it is looking like. So I'll open the yoke. This is what the front piece yoke is looking like, as you can see. So what I'll do is to use my bias to pipe the neckline, So I'll place this bias on the right side of the lace, and then I'm going to flip it to the other side and stitch it. And then this is the side and the center front. What I'll do is to cut out a wording. I'll be using a wording for this, so I'll cut out a wording for this, okay, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like. So this is the front. I have piped the neckline, okay, just like I explained, and this is the back. I have cut out a wording, okay, for it. If you don't know how to cut out a wording, I have a detailed video on that. So what I will do now is to place it like so and stitch it. And this is the back. I have already piped it with a neckline just like we did for the front. And what we'll be doing for the back is simple. So I notched my zipper line, so I notched where this yoke stopped. Okay, I forgot to mention that. Please go ahead and notch it so that you know where to place your yoke. So place the yoke right side facing right side, and then you place your lining on it, and you stitch on it on at the top part, and then you stitch the two sides and leave the down part opened. Okay, so this is what I have after I was done stitching it, as you can see. So to mark the back, that you can choose to notch when drafting, but I did not notch. So what I did was to take away my zipper allowance, and then from that zipper allowance I marked my nipple to nipple line, and then I took ½ inch on both sides, and then I extended it by 7 inches, just what we drafted earlier on. And then I'm going to stitch on it just like this, okay. So I repeat the same thing for the other back piece. So this is the front piece. As you can see, I have added the wording, and what I'll do now is to place the lace on it right side facing right side, and then I'll pin the midpoint. Okay, so go ahead and do that. After doing that, I'll bring the lining piece. Okay, I'll just pin this part as well. This will make it easier for you to stitch on it. Okay, so after pinning those parts, you also arrange the net on the other side, then you place your lining on it. So place the lining right side also on the dress just like this. After placing it, you go ahead and stitch on this. So you'll be starting from the middle. Start from this middle to this side, and then from this middle to the other side. Okay, then you stitch the two sides and leave the down part opened. After doing that, go ahead and make notches around it, and then flip it to the right side. And then this is what we have, as you can see, beautiful and perfect. So after doing this, this is what it is looking like for the front piece. So now what we'll be doing is to cut out the down part of the dress. So for the skirt part, it is simple. This is a zipper allowance, and there's a starting line, and from there I'll just mark my hip line of 9 inches, and then I'll roll it into a straight line just like this. So I'll come back to the waistline, which is here. I'm going to place my waist circumference measurements divided by 4 like this, and then I'm going to add that allowance like this, and then I'm going to also add 1 inch for my stitching allowance. So after doing that, I'll come to the hip. I'll place my hip circumference measurement divided by 4, and then I'll add 1 inch for my stitching allowance. Connect the lines together just like this. To get the full length of your gown, all you have to do is to minus your half length from the full length. Okay, so this, I've minus my half length, and then I just marked out the full length of my gown. Okay, that's just how to do this. It is not difficult at all. So now measure what I have on the hip line, and then I'm going to minus 1 inch from that at the hem line. This depends on how penciled you want it to be. Okay, you can minus 2 inches if you want to, but 1 inch is okay for me. After this, I'm going to just go ahead and cut this out.
So now we'll cut out the lining. So you can see that my lining is shorter than the fabric itself. So all you need to do is to make it equal at the down part, then stitch by the down part first, then stitch the two sides, and you bring it out from the upper part. Okay, so that is it. I've done that, and this is what the back is looking like. Okay, so now I'm going to bring the front of my dress and I'll place it right side facing right side. Make sure that they are lining, and then I'll stitch it down, and then I'll bring the back piece as well. I'm going to place it like this, and then I'll stitch it down as well, and I'll repeat the same thing for the other one. So this is it, and this is what it is looking like. Okay, so now to fix the zipper, from here I want the zipper to stop like here. Okay, it's too up. Okay, so I'll just increase the line here, so let the zipper stop there. So I'm going to stitch from this line that I'm drawing now. So we'll stitch from these lines down to this part, and this side will be the slit area. So you get, so that's just where I'll be stitching. And I have inserted the zipper neatly, and this is what it is looking like. Now I'm going to join the front piece and the back piece, and I'll go ahead and shape the sides just like this using my body measurement. So after doing that, after shaping it, this is the sleeve that I'll be using. Okay, so the length I have here is around 19 inches, and then the width is 6 inches. So go ahead and mark out your desired sleeve length and width. So I just stitched that side and I brought it out to the right side, just the way you see me doing, and then this side should be at the middle. The part where you stitched should be in the middle. Then you fold it inside like this, and then you just go ahead and secure this side, stitch it neatly for both sides. This is what I have. So now I'll bring back the dress, and I've attached one part of the sleeve. To attach this part, watch closely what I'll be doing. Make sure that your sleeve is aligning to this your Ankara part. You can see my hand, so make sure that your sleeve is aligning, they are on the same line. So I'll just use my chalk to draw out the line, just to trace it out like this, so that I'll know where to fix the sleeve. It is not difficult at all. Okay, just make sure that they are aligning. So after tracing it out with my chalk, I'm going to now place the sleeve on it. To place the sleeve, this is how I will do it. So I'm placing it right side facing right side, just like this. Can you see? And then I'll just hold it down with my pin for the purpose of this video. So just hold it down with your pin like this. Okay, so you can see where I placed it. I placed it around the stitches I have on my armhole already. Okay, so I now pinned it down to keep it in place. After pinning it down, you flip it to the other side like this. Just watch what I am doing. Okay, so you flip it to the back side, and you repeat the same thing on the back side. So you trace out this line. Okay, this your back, this side. Okay, this your back line, Akara line like this. Trace it out, and then you place the sleeve on it just the way you see me doing as well. So this is what it is looking like at the back, and this is what it is looking like after stitching. I'm done stitching the two sides, and this is what the dress is looking like. Okay, it was looking so beautiful on me. I hope you find this video helpful. If you do, kindly give it a thumbs up so that other people will get to see it. Consider sharing, and thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye for now.